Did an interviewer ever say, "Tell me about a time when," and your mind went totally blank? Welcome back to Career English Podcast. I'm James, and that's Alex. Today, 5 English words to answer behavioral questions with calm and power. By the end, you'll know how to set up any story in just 2 clear sentences.
Okay, so last week I had a client call on Upwork, and the manager from Canada asked me, "Tell me about a time you fixed a problem." I started to talk about the situation, but I jumped around so much. I never said clearly what my task was, and I think I confused him.
I know that feeling, and you are not alone. Many people start with the messy middle, but a good answer starts slow. First, you describe the situation, then you name your task. After that, you talk about the challenge and how you fixed it.
But James, that sounds so slow. The client is busy, the call is short, and time zones make everything stressful. Why should I spend time on the situation when he just wants to know if I'm good?
Good push. But here is the thing. If you skip the situation, your example makes no sense to him. He needs the place and the time first. Then your task and your challenge feel real, like a true story and not just empty words.
Okay, fair. So I should describe the situation, then say my task, then the challenge. That's like a small map for my answer. I think I always forget the task part the most.
Let's slow down and look at each word. The first one is situation. The situation is what was happening around you. It is the place, the time, and the people. For example, I was working with a small team in a busy week. That is your situation.
So the situation is like the start of a story, the background. But how much should I say? I don't want to describe my whole life. Sometimes I talk for 2 minutes about the situation, and the interviewer looks bored.
1 or 2 sentences is enough. Keep the situation short and clear. Now the second word is task. Your task is the job you needed to do. For example, my task was to finish the design before the client's deadline.
Wait, is task the same as challenge? Because to me, finishing before a deadline feels like a hard problem, and a hard problem sounds like a challenge. I get these two mixed up all the time.
Great question, and many people mix them. Your task is your normal job, the thing you must do. The challenge is what makes the task hard. So the task was to finish the design. The challenge was that the file was broken and the time was very short.
Oh, now I see it. The task is the goal, and the challenge is the trouble in the way. So, I describe the situation, then the task, then the challenge. That order really does feel like a clean map.
Exactly the right idea. The fourth word is describe. To describe means to say what something was like, with small details. When you describe the situation, you give a clear picture. For example, I'll describe the project. It was a website for a shop in Brazil.
I like that word, but I made a mistake last time. I said, "I will explain about the situation." Is that wrong? My English teacher in Turkey said something, but I forgot.
Small fix. We don't say explain about. We just say, I'll describe the situation, or I'll explain the situation. No about there. Your idea was good, just drop that one little word. Now the last one is example.
Example is easy, right? An example is one real story. The interviewer wants a true example from my work, not a hello world guess. So I give one example, one real situation, and one real task.
You got it. An example is one real story that shows your skill. The interviewer says, "Give me an example," and you answer with a real situation and a real task. A strong example always has these clear parts inside it.
Okay, can we practice the words out loud? I learn so much better when I say them, not just hear them. My freelance friends always say speaking is the hard part for them too.
Let's try this one together. I'll say it once, and you can say it after me in your own voice. Here it is. I'll describe the situation. My task was clear, but the challenge was the short time. Now your turn, slow and calm.
I'll describe the situation. My task was clear, but the challenge was the short time. Oh, that felt smooth. All the words fit together like one little sentence machine.
That worked because the words build on each other. Situation gives the picture. Task gives the goal. Challenge gives the trouble. When you describe them in order, the interviewer follows your example without any confusion. That is the whole trick.
Let me try a fresh scene. Imagine an interview for a remote job with a team in Germany. The manager says, "Tell me about a time you missed a deadline." My heart drops, but I stay calm and start with the situation.
Good start. Take it slow. How do you set up that situation for him? Remember, he was not there, so paint the picture first before the hard part.
Okay, let me describe the situation. I was a freelancer with 3 clients at the same time. My task was to send one client a video edit by Friday. The challenge was that 2 clients sent big work on the same day.
That is a clean answer. You described the situation, named your task, and then showed the challenge. The manager can see the whole picture. Now he trusts your example because it sounds like a real moment, not a story you made up.
And the funny thing is, this is true. It happened to me with a US dollars client last month. Real examples are easier because I don't have to invent the situation or the task. I just remember it.
That is the secret right there. Use real stories. Your memory already has the situation and the task inside it. You only need to describe them in clear order. The challenge becomes easy to explain when the example is your own life.
So, my homework is to write 3 real stories before any interview. One situation, one task, one challenge for each. Then I can describe any of them fast when the manager asks for an example.
Let me walk it all together. A client asks for an example. You describe the situation like a busy week with 2 clients. You name your task like finishing one job by Friday. Then you show the challenge, the hard part. 5 words, one strong answer every time.
Let me try the full thing one more time with you. I'll describe the situation from my last project. My task was tricky, and the challenge taught me a lot. That feels like a real answer now, not a panic.
Beautiful work. Subscribe if you want more English for your freelance career and your next interview in English. Next episode, we move to the second half of the answer, the action and the result, so your story has a strong, happy ending the manager remembers.
I feel ready now. Situation, task, challenge, describe, example. 5 small words, but they give my interview answers a clear shape. I'm going to write my 3 stories tonight before bed.
Write them down and practice out loud, just like we did today. Try this in your next email. Come back next episode and tell us how it went.